Hey, what's going on? Matt Plapp, and we are live at the Cincinnati Travel, Sport, and Boat Show. And some of you might know my background for, 9 years, but also about 15 years involved in the industry was boat and RV business. And the one thing I saw a huge opportunity and a missed opportunity was at these boat shows. And the word show is deceiving from a dealer standpoint because you're not here to show anything. You're here to sell something. And I think that's one of the problems that we've run into in a lot of these shows is that dealers come to them with the expectations of, hey, we're going to show stuff. And you're not. You're here to close deals. That's what it's all about. And one of the ways you can do that and be more efficient in that is by better preparing the people that are helping you. A great example is we used volunteers because we had to. We had about 20 volunteers every year. My dad is an amazing sales trainer. And so for about 8 weeks before the show, we would have boat show training sessions on a weekday night leading up to the show. And if you wanted to work the show and get a lot of perks that we gave our volunteers, you had to show up to these training sessions. And the whole concept was to not have it to where somebody walked in the booth and they knew generic information about that boat or that camper. It was where they knew every single detail about that boat. Because if you were working our booth, for example, and you were working the Triton boats and you were on the 21-footer, that was your job, was the 21-footer the entire show. If you were on the campers and you were on the Airstream or you were on a Citation toy hauler or whatever the camper might have been, you were on that unit for the whole show. You knew everything about it so that when people came down here, they weren't being shown something. They were being sold something because people come to these shows. In Cincinnati, at least, you're looking at $10 to $20 to park. You're looking at $20 to $30 to eat. You're looking at $30 to get in the show with a couple people. Not many people spend $100 to $200 to come down here and not buy something. You've got a captive audience. You've got a chance to swing the bat. Do it. And we had it set up to where our salespeople, my father and our 7 sales staff, didn't show units. They closed units. They watched our volunteers on every unit. They watched some of our staff, our parts and our service and accessories department guys. They were on each unit. When those people spent a certain amount of time, my dad used to call it the touch technique. When they touched the boat 3 or 4 times, that was a signal for the salesperson to go over and relieve the volunteer and close the deal. And you might think, okay, well, that's common sense. But I can tell you this. Our first boat show we ever did, we closed, I want to say it was 80 units. And the other dealers in the show we talked to closed 10 to 15. Our last show we did, we closed 172 units. Now, the economy is a little different back then, but our biggest competitor closed about 30. And the reason was they had poorly trained volunteers. They had employees that were there that weren't knowledgeable on that unit, and they weren't there to sell units. They were there to show. So go ahead and change your mindset. If you got a show coming up, if you're at the Cincinnati one, it's probably a little late. But if you're a dealer in other parts of the country, you're seeing this later down the road, you need to get your staff ready to sell units because that's what these are. These are boat sales, RV sales, not shows. Hey, I hope that helped. Let me know if you have any ideas that you need help with regards to finding people that come to these shows using Facebook ads. I'm an open book. I will give you every piece of advice I have and every tip. I'll see you around.